Hi all, welcome to day 11 session. Day 11 session of Python training. Today the topic is Python functions. First of all, we try to understand what is a function. A function is a reusable block of code. A function is a reusable block of code. Instead of writing the same code again and again, only one thing is the purpose is reusability. Okay, so usually if I write any print statements, see I am explaining in Colab. Yeah, so I have written print statement, hello Ravi, welcome to Python. Two print statements, it printed the output. Okay, so same thing I use using function. Okay, so def is the keyword, def is the keyword, and welcome is the function name. I am writing two statements here, print hello Ravi and Python. Okay, so here you don't get the output. Why? Because this is the function definition. Inside the function, whatever you have written, if it should executed, you need to call the function. How you need to call the function? With the function name. Welcome, open braces, close braces. If you write this statement only, whatever the statements you have written inside the function, it will execute. See, hello Ravi, welcome. That means function definition of after define the function, if you want to execute whatever the functions you have written inside statements, if you should call the function, then only it will execute. Yeah. Okay. So here we have two things you have to understand. One is parameters and arguments. Okay. So a lot of confusion between parameters and understanding. If especially you are new to Python. Okay. So I will try to explain very clearly. See, parameters are variables written when we define the function. Just blindly, you should remember parameters are placeholders. You can write where we define the function. In the function definition only, whatever the parameters you are defining, it is also called as placeholders. It is also called as empty boxes to ready to receive the values. Okay. So parameters is also called as placeholders or empty boxes. Okay. See, this is the one function. Define greet is my function name. I am passing two values, name and age. Okay. So print inside the print f hello name comma your age years old. So here name is one parameter. See, name is one parameter. Okay. See, name is one parameter. Age is another parameter. Where it is passing while defining the function, you are passing the parameters. Okay. Think like these are empty boxes. Name is empty box. Age is empty box. For example, you are filling some railway reservation counter form. Okay, in that form, they will give empty boxes. They will give name, age, the passenger travel, who is traveling. So those are placeholders. Name, age, which train you are traveling. These are parameters. Okay, already defined. And arguments is you are passing values to those arguments. We have another concept, arguments. See, what are arguments? Arguments are the actual values. Actual values we pass while calling the function. Parameters you define while defining the function. See, while defining the function, you pass the parameters. But arguments you pass while calling the function. See, greet is my function name and Alice is the name, 25 is the value. Okay, age is 25. Okay, we'll see one program. See, this is the, okay, I will try to execute this program. You will understand from Chrome, sorry, from Google Colab. See, this is my function definition. So here I pass name and age are parameters. For these parameters, I am calling I am calling this function. This is the argument one. See here alias 25. These are the arguments. Again I am calling one more time function. Greet Bob 30. So what I am, my final conclusion is, while creating the function body, whatever you pass, those are called parameters. While you are calling the function, you pass some values, those are called arguments. Yeah, that is the conclusion of the topic. Okay. So if I try to execute, see, hello, Alice. See, from the name, it has taken Alice. Age, it has taken 25. From Bob, from function to Bob, 30 years it has taken. Okay. So these are parameters and arguments. If you want to understand the syntax, see parameters. These are the parameters and these are arguments. Yeah, one simple and simple concept is return versus print. Okay, what print gives, whatever you have written, whatever you want to show, it shows, print shows the value, but return gives the value back. Okay, for example, we see one example. Okay. See, I just defined one function. I want to add a comma b. Okay. What I have written, print a plus b. Okay. X is equal to add. This I will tell in the future classes. Just understand. I am calling add function with the arguments 10 and 20. And I am printing this value. Print a plus b with print x. Whatever the result, I need to print. Okay. Okay, what it happen like, see, you got a print 30, but here you got none. Reason is, okay, you did not, why print 30 only displays the value 30? Because the function does not return 30, so it is none. So whatever the function, sorry, where is that? Yeah, whatever the function I have defined, it did not return any value, just it's printed. So if you want to value should be written, you have to define return statement. Otherwise, it will show none only. The function does not return 30, so we got none. For example, here I am writing with the return. Instead of print now, I am writing return a plus b. Okay. So now I will get output 30 because 10 plus 20, 10 plus 20, 30, x is equal to 30. So print x means I will get the output 30. See what I am trying to say. You, after adding, you want to return some value, you should pass the return statement. If you if you write the print statement, it will not return anything. It just say none. So see inside the definition, earlier example, it is print is there. Okay. Here written is there. So if you write written after a plus b, it write you will get 30. You should write the written value. Okay. Yeah. Next concept. Easy to remember. Print shows the result, but written sends the result back. Yeah. And one more simple concept is type of variables. It is inside the function only. We have two types of variables, local variable and global variable. Okay. In local variable, you write inside the function. We create the variable. A variable created inside a function is called a local variable. See, I have defined one function. Okay. You have defined x is equal to 20. Where you have defined? Where you have defined? Inside the function only. Inside the function. Okay. So this is called, you have defined the variable inside the function. It is called a local variable. Okay. You can access that. The variable which is defined inside the function is called local variable. Okay. And there is another variable called global variable. A variable created outside the function is called global variable. See, he has defined x is equal to 10. Outside the function, it is not inside the function. Okay. See, earlier example, the variable you have defined inside the function. And here the variable is defined outside the function. This is called global variable. Okay. Yeah. Here, modify a global variable. For example, in few scenarios while writing a program, any Python program, there may be a chance you can modify a global variable. If you want to change a global variable inside the function, you want to change the variable. So you need to have a keyword called global. Okay. So for example, if you see here, I'm writing one. For example, x is equal to 10. It is a global variable. Okay. But if you want to change this variable to 20, so the global keyword you have to return inside, and inside the function you write a keyword called global. Then now it will return 20. See, 20 we have got. I have modified this global variable to 20 with the help of global keyword. Okay. Simple rule. Variables outside the function is called global variables. Variable you defined inside the function is called local variable. Okay. And read a global variable inside the function. No global keyword. Global keyword is not required. If you want to modify the global keyword, global variable inside the function, like this example, you want to modify the global variable from x is equal to 10 to 20, you should have a global keyword here. Use a global keyword. Okay, with this I have completed basic functions, how you define the function, what are the parameters, what are the arguments. Okay, we'll see in the next class. Thank you.